Hello everyone, today I am going to tell you facts about London landmarks. So let's start it. First of all, I am going to talk about Big Ben. Did you know that Big Ben actually had another name, which is Tower Clock, and Big Ben is a clock tower. Big Ben also stands on the River Thames, which means it is sinking. It is very deep in the River Thames right now, so they are going to repair Big Ben, and then Big Ben would not be on the River Thames anymore. It would be somewhere on a safe place. And when first Big Ben was made, Big Ben was 150 meters big, but now it is just about 25 meters big. And if you climbed up Big Ben, you would see the whole of London, but right now you would not see the whole of London, because as I told you before, Big Ben is sinking in the River Thames. Big Ben is also near the Houses of Parliament. Did you know the long hand of Big Ben is 4.2 meters big and the short hand is 2.7 meters big? And the whole face of Big Ben must be humongous. And now we are moving on to the Houses of Parliament. The Houses of Parliament has 1,000 rooms, and the Prime Minister has meetings there, and important people go in there. And the Houses of Parliament has 3 main towers. And the very important thing that I want to mention is that the Houses of Parliament also stands on the River Thames. That means it is also sinking. So they will repair both of them, which is Houses of Parliament and Big Ben, on a very, very safe place where they will not sink anymore. Now, moving on to River Thames. River Thames is the second largest river in the London, and it is also very polluted. And guess what was found at the bottom of the River Thames? It was a whale. And because the River Thames is very polluted, the whale didn't be alive for long, but somehow it got lost in the River Thames. And people go boating on the River Thames to see Big Ben, Houses of Parliament, and also London Eye. And now we're moving on to the big Parisville London Eye. London Eye is the biggest Parisville ever. If you reach the top of it, you will see the whole of London, and it takes a very, very long time to go around. About 30 minutes, which is half an hour, which is very, very, very long. Did you know that London Eye does not stand on the River Thames? So that's why people every day go there. But did you know every year about 2 million people go to visit the London Eye, and there are 32 capsules on the London Eye. And if you reach all the way around and go at the bottom, you will also see the River Thames, but also the bottom of Big Ben and the bottom of Houses of Parliament. Now we are moving on to the biggest bridge ever, Tower Bridge. First, Tower Bridge was mistaken for London Bridge, but its real name is Tower Bridge. Also, Tower Bridge is very, very big. And if a boat goes through, the Tower Bridge opens and lets the boat go through. And when the boat is gone through, the bridge closes again. And if you want to go on the top of Tower Bridge, you have to pay. You give a ticket, and then you can go to the top of Tower Bridge. And it's called Tower Bridge because it has 2 towers on the edge of it. Tower Bridge stands on the River Thames till 1894. Next, we're moving on to Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is where the royal family lives, which includes the Queen, the Prince, and the Princess. There is no king, because we all know that there is no king in Buckingham Palace. But did you know a very, 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 very surprising thing? It is that at night, very long ago, a man broke into Buckingham Palace. First, he had to jump over the gates. Then he broke into Buckingham Palace. He landed where the Queen was sleeping. But it's surprising that he landed there because there are 775 rooms in Buckingham Palace. So somehow he got there and he was very lucky to see the Queen. Buckingham Palace has 98 windows and 1,375 doors. And the flag always flies above Buckingham Palace. And if the Queen gets out of Buckingham Palace, the flag lowers and another flag comes up. Isn't it interesting, guys? Now we are moving on to the Tower of London. The Tower of London is a very famous landmark. The most famous thing about it, that it was used to be a prison. That's why it is so famous. And the crown of jewels is kept there. And if somebody is being bad to the Queen, Prince or Princess, they are sent to the Tower of London. Then they are gone to one of its towers, which is called Bloody Tower. And then they stay there. And when they apologize, then they get out. And then they promise never to do it again. If they promise, they go. But if they do it again, they stay there forever. And did you know, actually, the Tower of London is 1,000 years old, which means it was built 1,000 years ago. And it is near the Tower Bridge, but also it has 6 ravens. It is believed that if the ravens go away, the tower will fall down, but that is just a legend. So it's not really true. It's just a fake legend. And moving on to the Shard, if you go to the top of the Shard, you will see the whole of London again. And there are 95 stories in the Shard. The Shard is also a piece of glass. And glass is called shard in a surprising way. So that's where it got its name from, the Shard. And it also looks like an upside down cone, by the way. It has restaurants, shops and homes in it. And it's a very famous place. Now we are moving on to St. Paul's Cathedral. St. Paul's Cathedral is a very, very interesting landmark. And St. Paul's Cathedral is a church. But also, St. Paul's Cathedral got broken when the Great Fire of London arrived. St. Paul's Cathedral got fired by it. So they started to restart St. Paul's Cathedral, and then it looked like a dome. But first it did not look like a dome. You can also call St. Paul's Cathedral St. Paul's. And it is very, very old. That's the end. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Tomorrow I will come up with a new interesting video. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.